Ugh. Good gracious, it's Henry, champion of the Rat-Eye Tourney.
I went to parley with Wolflin.
So how did that go?
He's dead.
What? How did that happen?
I challenged him to a duel and he lost.
You challenged Wolflin of Camberg to a duel?
Jesus,
Jesus, Henry, I don't know whether you're brave or out of your fucking mind.
Maybe a bit of both.
What about the others?
Most of them scattered, and Bernard can take care of the rest.
Well now, this calls for a drink. I want to hear the whole story.
I'm happy to tell it. Is there anything I can help you with, Sir Hans?
Ah, Henry, the very man I wanted. There is something you can do for me. You see? I'm in love.
Ah, there's a new wench at the bathhouse, is there?
Watch it, Henry. This is the love of my life we're talking about, not some wench. The face of an angel, breasts like silk pillows to dream on, and good strong hips. A regular Helen of Troy.
Troy? Isn't that near Prague? I don't know anyone from there.
Never mind, blockhead. What I'm saying is, she's a fine filly, and you can help me win her.
Sounds like fun. I'm all ears.
You, Hal, shall be my messenger of love. You shall bear her a letter and a gift from a secret admirer.
But why me? It's not like you to be bashful, Sir Hans. You can just go and tell her,
Certainly not. Carolina is different to the others. She was educated in a convent and needs to be handled with kid gloves. Romanced. I must court her secretly. It's the latest fashion in France.
And who is this Carolina?
The fairest maid that ever walked the earth. Carolina. The butcher's daughter. You must have noticed a divine creature in the marketplace. Unless you're more interested in barnyard animals.
I'm more interested in battle, sir.
Carolina. I do know her. She's a pretty girl, all right, but, well, a little below your station.
Love knows no station but the heart. And you keep your peasant eyes off her. Your task is simple. All you have to do is get hold of a necklace fine enough to grace her lovely neck. I did have one that I inherited from my great-grandmother. Unfortunately, not anymore.
What happened to it?
I lost it playing dice at the inn. But you'll get it back for me. You're a smart lad. I'm sure you'll figure out a way. And I'll reward you handsomely.
Oh, all right then. Is there something else I should know about this necklace?
I lost it at dice in the Ledechko tavern when I was there to see... Well, that's not important.
So, some dice player from Ledechko won your grandmother's valuable necklace. Haven't you learned anything from losing to Zdena, the bathhouse wench?
My great-grandmother's, and as it happens, I have learned a trick or two. But that fellow has the luck of the devil. No doubt he'll still be sitting there, swindling other folk out of their hard-earned groschen.
Oh, what's the use? All right, all right. I'll go to Ledechko, find this diabolical dice player and see what I can do. Though I'll probably lose my shirt to him.
Well, there's more than one way to skin a cat. Take care.
Stop for a bit. I'll just give you a quick search.
What do you want from me?
Be quick about it.
What?
Such are my orders.
I'm here on important business, and you're going to hold me up with some bloody inspection.
Yeah. All right. Go ahead, then.
Don't you know who I am, sir? Magical dice player. We're gonna swindle him out of his money, that's what we're gonna do. Oh, Let's go. Got my dice on me, right? Yep. What up, bro?
I'm honored that you should come to me.
Are you the one who played dice with Lord Capon?
Played and won, lad. A fine noble he may be, but he can no more throw dice than I can read Latin.
I can't disagree with you there. But look here, have you still got that piece of jewellery you won from him?
No, I don't. Some noble rode through here and we had a game or two. Only them dice kept falling his way. I was lucky to keep my boots. He's got the necklace now.
Did you know where this fellow was heading?
He was waiting for someone here, but when they didn't show up by midday, he rode on. He mentioned something about camping by the bridge over the Sasau River. That one before the charcoal burners camp. You might still catch him there with a bit of luck.
There aren't many fords along the river on the way to Sasau. Can you tell me anything else about him?
Fine gent he was, well dressed, on horseback. Had quite a lot to say. Seems he saw a bit of the world. And he had some interesting looking dice.
You said they fell well for him?
Aye, and no wonder. Fine dice they was, made special. All shiny and whatnot.
That's all I need to know.
I'll be with you.
One beer for me. I'll be right back with that. Wine!
That's not good.
Are you after something? I'm afraid my friend here won't tell you much.
Your friend? Oh, I'm very sorry. And, well, I don't want to be insensitive, but I was hoping to get something from him. My master's necklace, which he won at dice.
Your master? Who would that be?
Well, Sir Radzig Cobbler of Skalitz is my liege lord. I'm Henry, but just now I'm helping Sir Hans Capon with a private matter.
Those are weighty names in these parts. I'm Sir Anselm of Domkey, in the service of... well, that's not important. I'd like to give you... that is... I'd like to ask you for your help.
I'm listening. Tell me what you know.
I will. And I'm sure it will help you find that necklace. The thing is, this is all my fault. I got held up on the way to meet Alphonse. By the time I got here, I found him like this.
God have mercy on his soul.
Amen, lad. I was heartbroken and enraged by turns, tearing my hair and cursing. Alphonse was my good friend, and it pains me to know he was only here on account of me. I brought him into a certain business matter to negotiate with some people, and he agreed. And this is how it ended up. When I finally pulled myself together, I took a look around and found some tracks. I followed them to the camp of those very brigands that Alphonse was supposed to negotiate with.
Nah, you can't trust anyone these days. So how can I help?
You can pass yourself off as Alphonse. Get into the bandits' camp and find that fucking murderer. And when you do, you'll find what you're looking for.
What do you know about the brigands in that camp?
Actually, they're not just ordinary bandits. It's a robber baron and his band. Sir Erhard Baron Bielowitz. Some of his vassals and maybe some commoners. They came here in the hope they'd have a better chance of keeping their heads.
Why don't you ask some of the local lords for help? I'm sure the Sasau custodian would lend you a few men.
There's nothing I'd like to see more than the lot of them strung up. Only I have a task that conflicts with that. And as for the custodian, I'm pretty sure Sir Sebastian is in league with Earhart.
What was the purpose of Sir Alphonse's negotiations? I'll need to know that.
Look, Henry, you'd best avoid that subject if at all possible. Just find the murderer for me, get your necklace, and I'll take care of the rest.
It'll be a bit hard to avoid that, since it was supposed to be the entire purpose of his visit.
True. Well, Alphonse was supposed to talk Earhart into moving his robbing raids towards Benishov, especially holding up merchants' wagons heading for Prague. In return, he was to offer a reward of up to 12,000 groschen and safe haven in Pilgrims.
I see. So you work for someone in Pilgrims?
No, neither Pilgrims nor Benishov. Nor Vlachim, for that matter. It's a bit complicated. Damn politics.
My word. The whole thing sounds like quite a twisted affair.
So are you going to help me?
I'll help you. I'll have to go there to look for the necklace anyway, and this seems as good a way as any.
Thanks 1,000-fold. And for the love of God, don't get caught. I'd never forgive myself if another man lost his life on my account. If it starts to look risky, take to your heels.
I'll bear that in mind.
Alright. I have 2 health right now. I have 2 health. Wow. It messed me up good. Lazarus potion and see what my armor is at, man. Damn, dude, they messed some armor up. They messed my stuff up, yeah. Well played.
It looks like someone went this way with the nobleman's horse. Someone was searching for something here. Were they out? Looks like he died without a struggle. Maybe killed in his sleep. They took everything he had. Money, jewelry, even his boots. Could it be someone was trying to get rid of something here?
Scorched map. What? Did I find it? I think I found it. No? Maybe not? What? Okay. Who's this man you've murdered? Oh, I've been here before.
Tired of life.
Get over here! Over here!
Oh, dear God.
Alright, well. Anyway. So...
Allow me to congratulate you on your win.
Thanks. I never thought I could do it.
I noticed there was one nice piece of jewellery. An old necklace.
Aye, a rare-looking gem. I'm curious how much I'll get for it.
It's only fair to warn you, though, that necklace looks suspiciously like one that was stolen from Lord Capon.
What?
Oh, yes. Apparently, he's been searching the whole province for it. If you should find out somehow that you've got it, I shouldn't wonder if you ended up on the gallows.
Jesus. Well, I suppose I should do the right thing and send it to him.
Well, I'll be passing by Ratoi. I can pass it on to him.
That would save me a trip. And maybe a visit to the jailhouse.
Oh, look at that. You know, I want to try something. I just want to see.
Fucking weather. Fucking tense. Fucking camp. Had enough of this shit.
I want to see if I pickpocket this guy, if I see anything else on him or no. So enough goofing about. Let's talk to him all honestly now.
God preserve.
I just
you,
felt a
good
little
knight.
chaotic
Can I do
earlier.
something
What are you doing here?
Why are you so interested?
I'm curious.
Curiosity killed the cat. That's no reason at all.
I meant no offence. I'm just interested.
So?
What's been happening here?
Apart from us losing everything, living in fear of sticking our noses outside and waiting for folk to come back again?
Yes?
Nothing.
So why didn't you say that straight away?
Why should I? You bluff your way in here and start asking questions like you own the place, and it never crosses your mind you might not be welcome.
But I'm only...
Only what?
I'm sorry. I didn't mean it like that.
Well, perhaps you didn't. But nothing ever happens here. If anyone hears anything, we run and hide like rabbits. And otherwise, we just sit on our asses.
Where's your husband?
What do you want of him?
I want to ask him what's going on here.
Well, then you'd best start praying. He got killed when they stormed Scarlet's.
Oh, I'm very sorry.
So am I. He was a good man. So you'll have to make do with asking me.
I'm not after anything else, really.
So why are you harassing us? God bless.
I guess there's no, like, right outcome. I definitely am not welcome here, that's for sure.
I'm honored that a knight such as you...
What are you doing here?
What's it to you?
I mean no offence, just asking.
What do you think we're doing here? Hiding and waiting until someone comes back to the Scullies.
Then why don't you head off to Sasau or Talmberg?
Do you think none of us have tried it? Nobody ever came back. So here we sit and wait.
Why are you here?
Maybe because we've got nowhere else to go?
Some of your neighbours are in Ratoi.
And are they doing well there?
They're getting by.
Well, we get by here. So why go and rely on the charity of strangers?
What's happened here?
They raided the place, haven't you heard?
But that was weeks ago.
What of it? Nobody's come back so far, and we can't keep the place running on our own. Good luck to you.
Yeah, well, maybe you should go somewhere else. guy doesn't even want to talk to me. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me right now? This guy was just up and awake. Okay. That's how it's gonna be. What a bunch of baloney. Dude, you've slept all day. You have slept all day. Get up. Don't tell me he's gonna go sleep for another 12 hours, bro. Get over here, you.
My respects to you.
What are you doing here?
Not so fast, lad. I'm in charge round here, so I'll do the asking. And the question is, what are you doing here? Come to steal the silver, have you?
If you're in charge here, you'll be mine Master Nemoy, if I'm not mistaken.
What's it to you?
Master Fafar told me if I found a Nemoy here in the mines, I'm to bring him to him in irons.
You think you're gonna haul me off to Rattay to be burned at the stake?
That is the punishment for stealing silver.
And how do you propose to take us all there?
It's enough to take you. The others can run while they have the chance.
Even so, is it really worth it to you?
It is. You can't just steal the king's silver and get away with it.
So be it, boy. Good luck to you. Had enough?
What does it say to do here, though? You know what I mean?
Who's there? Answer
What's that? I
Get the ass whooping of your life, son. Fair dues, fair dues. Kick you right in the nuts. Why is it not an option? How am I gonna bring him? How am I gonna bring him, bro? I'm so confused by this.
Yeah.
Just gonna leave that guy there because I don't know what to do there.
Yeah.
Where is this?
Yeah.
Is it up here somewhere?
Yeah.
Yeah, right here, I believe.
Yeah.
This is just down here. Maybe. No?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, it's right here. Okay. Hello.
Good health to you. Halt. What do you want?
I'm here by order of Sir Radzig and Master Fafar. And who are you?
Who am I? I'm keeping guard here so no rogues get in to steal the silver.
That's very commendable. I'll take you to Master Fafar so he can reward you.
But I can't go anywhere. Who would stand watch if I left my post? God be with you.
Okay. So... do I go back up there? Is that what it's saying?
Yeah.
What's going on there? Hey!
No, not this. So I have to go inside the mine, maybe?
Who's that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Alright, let's try going in then. It appears so far there's only one way to go, so I guess I'll just keep going this way, see what happens. I think this is what we're supposed to do, right? Don't push me, no!
Hey,
Oh
can
my
you hear
goodness.
me? Can you hear me? Are you alive? Come on, say something!
Oops.
Hey!
Wow.
Hey, you there! What have you done?
Me? It wasn't me. It must have been one of your lot pushed him down the shaft.
If you hadn't come sniffing around, none of this would have happened.
What's my being here got to do with it? What the fuck's been going on? Whatever it is, now you've got a murder to answer for.
Only if someone finds out.
I'm here by order of Sir Radzig and Master Fafar. Stealing the king's silver will get you burned at the stake.
Nobody's been stealing any silver here.
We'll see about that soon enough. But if I were you, I'd make a run for it before I get out of here. I don't intend to go chasing across the province after anyone.
Ha! You should be more worried we're not coming looking for you. So why don't you just stand there a while? What's the matter? Come on!
Oh, okay. Wasn't expecting y'all to jump down here with me. Yeah, see? See? That's what you get for shooting me. I don't know what you thought was gonna happen, but they pushed Nemoy off? No way. No way. Was not expecting that one. Wow. So that's be done now, right? No? Escape from the line.
Entertainment! Great. Who's that? Christ.
You asked for it? That other guy doesn't want any of it. I hear birds chirping, makes me feel like I'm close, but I don't know, man. I ran into those guys, so I feel like I might be on the right trail.
Is someone...
Hey! What?
Okay. We ain't fighting, man. Yes, they led me out. They led me out. Yeah. Let's go. Wait, what? Escape the mine. Finished. That's it? Okay. We'll cut.
God be with you, lad. What can I do for you?
I've got that necklace.
Excellent news! I'm not going to ask you how you did it. Here's a reward for you. Now you can carry on with your next task. I want you to sneak the jewellery into Carolina's trunk along with this letter.
Can't I just hand them to her?
You cannot. Under no circumstances must she find out who sent them. Otherwise the whole secret admirer ploy is fucked. Oh, and by the way, Henry, watch out for the butcher. He keeps a very close eye on his daughter, and if he catches you sniffing around, well, may all the saints preserve you. Once you've delivered the things, wait a day, and then come back and see me.
Goodbye.
Okay. Oh, Tobias is under.
Mother of God.
Oh, you locked it, eh? What, you talking smack? I'll clock you right in the back of your nog, lady.
What? Hey, you! What are you doing? Fuck off before I lose my temper.
Are you looking for me?
There we go, now he moves.
God bless you. What troubles you?
I'm here about the mine.
Excellent. So what did you find out?
I didn't get round to having a proper look. I came across something more disturbing.
What's that?
Nemoy and his gang were stealing silver there.
The vermin. I thought as much. Did you bring him here?
I tried to, but he was having none of it. He didn't want to burn, so he tried to kill me.
Well, I'm glad he didn't succeed. But now I won't be able to find out anything. Oh, well. Can't be helped, I suppose.
He didn't even tell him how they pushed him down in the mine. Okay.
Coming right up.
Greetings. What business have you?
I delivered the things, as you asked.
I already know. My spies told me everything. She was wearing the necklace this morning, as I asked in the letter.
So you'll go to the rendezvous with her?
Certainly not. I'm not going to pounce on her like a bull in rutting season. Her feelings must be allowed to mature gradually. Meanwhile, you'll get a potion for me.
I thought you didn't believe in witches' brews.
This is no witch's brew. It's an absolutely tried and tested elixir called Musk of Infinite Allure. There's a fellow in Sasau who sells it, and he guarantees its success.
Musk of Infinite Allure? Sounds irresistible. All right, I'll try and get it for you.
I'm sure I can rely on you. Here's some coin for your costs.
See you later.
Wait. This guy? Really?
Well, well, who have we here?
Ah, the prodigal son returns. I knew you'd come back to me one day.
Let me guess, you saw it in a dream?
I knew you were going to say that.
But I had a divine revelation. That next time I won't be around to pull you out of the shit.
Oh, well, I am sorry. But these things are sent to try our fortitude in the face of adversity.
I'd like to try your fortitude. I've heard you know of some irresistibility potion or whatever it is.
Ah, naturally. Musk of Infinite Allure. An age-old recipe, maybe even older. Tested by Moses himself.
Moses?
How do you think he managed to get his people to follow him through the desert for 40 years? It's extremely potent.
Yeah, so it would seem. How much do you want for it?
Who do you take me for? The wisdom of the ancients isn't something that's bought and sold in the marketplace. Did Jesus charge for his miracles? But since you ask, how about this much?
But since you ask, how about this much?
That's not much.
Really? All right, double then.
What? Why? You... Oh, why do I even
This
bother?
guy.
If
This
you
guy.
like, I can mix the elixir for you in exchange for a small favor.
Oh, not again.
Now, is that any tone to use with your master? For shame.
Apologies, Master. I was carried away by my thirst for knowledge.
I understand
For
your
shame.
impatience, but the way to wisdom is narrow and arduous.
And leads out the window. So what is it you want from me now?
Ah, my dear apprentice, everything's gone to the devil. I'm living from hand to mouth, sleeping on straw, and the local peasants won't buy from me. They say they don't trust me, as if I was some kind of charlatan. Can you believe it? Does this look to you like the face of a swindler? I'm an honest trader in sacred goods, whose only concern is the welfare of troubled souls. And any time now the slanderous gossip will spread here from Sasau. I should leave before things get worse. But I can't go anywhere until I've made a bit of coin. So what's needed is to give the locals a bit of encouragement, to open their hearts and purses.
I'm not going to go around beating people for you.
What do you take me for? I wouldn't hurt a fly. Violence is for the dull-witted. We must gently demonstrate to them the necessity of buying my remedies. For example, to ward off a revenant.
Revenant? What revenant?
The dead return from the grave, a corpse that the soul is unable to depart from, which wanders among the living, filled with rage at its wretched fate.
Yeah, I saw something like that once. But it was just some drunk going home from the tavern after losing all his money at dice.
Don't make light of such things. Now tell me, do you know how to deal with a revenant?
Set fire to it and piss on it?
You're not taking this seriously at all, are you? You are
No,
my
no,
trained
not at all.
apprentice, but the ignorant villager is entirely at a loss how to deal with such dark forces. It is our sacred duty to prepare them for such threats.
And how do you propose to do that?
Well, they're all doubting Thomases. They need proof. We'll need a grave, an empty grave that we can use. There's one along the way to Sasau, but it's got one minor shortcoming.
What's that?
Well, it's not entirely empty.
Not entirely? What does that mean?
You have to dig it up first.
I'll have nothing to do with it. Give the job to someone with no human decency.
But you're my one and only apprentice.
Oh, I have to do that?
Good day to you.
Sorry for
What do
trying
you-
to have morals.
What's this?
I knew you wouldn't.
I knew you wouldn't abandon me.
Why this particular grave?
The locals don't like to talk about it, so it's surely got some sinister past behind it. And in places like that, revenants sprout up like mushrooms after rain.
Well, if that's how it is, we could open old wounds. That could easily set people against us. Again.
Then it would be best if no one could connect us to it, wouldn't it?
I'll need a spade then.
Yes, dig it up and remove the remains, leaving no trace.
And what am I to do with the remains?
Keep them. Human remains are always handy to have around.
Great.
What?
And how do
Why?
we spread the word of this revenant?
There's a gossip in every village. Here, too, a woman who'll spread news quicker than a dozen messengers on the fastest steeds.
And what am I to tell this gossip?
All you have to do is casually mention the empty grave, and before evening, I'll wager the whole village will know about it.
Where does this woman live?
The last house on the left, on the road to Sasau. She was the first person I met here, and by the time I reached the village green, I already had a mob looking suspiciously at me. The rumor-mongering fishwife.
And that's all?
Not quite. You should ask her who was buried there. So we've got a story to work with.
So, dig up the grave, talk to the gossip.
And the remains. Don't forget to remove them. Otherwise, no one will believe in the Revenant.
I might have known any task for Capon would turn into some insane escapade. Grave robbing. Jesus.
Farewell.
Wow. What? Why do I still have an objective marker on him? Oh.
God be with you, good wife. Has something happened here?
Heavens no. It's quiet here, unlike some other places.
And what about that empty grave?
What empty grave would that be now?
The one beyond the village, alongside the road to Sasau. Just by the river, on the Pine Headland.
How would you know it's empty, unless it was dug up?
Oh, it's dug up, all right. Freshly. And empty. I saw it with my own 2 eyes.
Lord in heaven, what in the name of...
How come it's not in hallowed ground, anyway? Only unrepentant sinners are buried like that. Usually.
I don't like to say. It's an old wound that's best forgotten.
Whose grave is it?
Well, once a long time ago there was a young charcoal burner living here with his wife. There was always a lot of charcoal burners here, but this fellow worked alone. That's not an easy job for one man.
Well, no one wanted to work with him, or what?
Oh, he was a hard-headed fellow who always wanted to take care of his family himself.
Well, I can understand that. It's always better to work for yourself than break your back for someone else.
His wife was expecting, though no one knew it yet. And he wasn't doing well at all. Soon enough, they had nothing to eat. And so he took to thieving.
Well, I can understand him. To watch your family suffer like that. What could he do when they were going hungry?
If we'd known how badly off they was, folk would have helped out. But he kept his troubles to himself.
And did he get caught?
Well, at first it was just a few eggs going missing from people's hen coops. But then it was anything that wasn't nailed down. And in the end, they caught him.
And I suppose he was harshly punished for it.
Even then he didn't let on why he was doing it. They whipped the skin off his back and banished him from Leditchko.
So justice was done then?
It wasn't enough for some folk. When the butcher found out he'd never get any compensation, he wanted them to chop off the charcoal burner's hands. If the bailiff hadn't talked sense into him, he'd have done it himself with his cleaver.
Well, he got off lightly enough then.
And in the end, he got what was coming to him, and more.
The butcher caught up with him?
No, no. It was the mills of God turning slowly but surely. his wife bled to death in childbirth, and the child died with her.
I'm sorry to hear that. But at least he knew they were gone to a better place.
True, lad.
Nothing could have been done to save them.
There was no one there. He had no one who would care for his wife. They say on that day he parted ways with God forever, and he turned his back on the village too. I reckon he never forgave himself, nor us either.
The Lord moves in mysterious ways. But how did he end up?
Don't ask me that, lad. I beg you.
Come now, good wife. You can't leave the story unfinished.
I said no. Will you let it lie?
Well, fine. I don't want to know the ending anyway. Gosh. Talk to the charlatan.
Yeah.
Ouch. Nothing like getting clotheslined by a sign.
Yeah. Yeah.
You owe me.
I know who was buried in that grave. A young charcoal burner.
So begins the tragic tale of the young charcoal burner who became entangled with the devil himself.
Oh, don't start. What devil? I'm trying to tell you. Ugh. He was from Ledechko. He was trying to eke out a living for himself and his wife, but he couldn't manage. When she fell pregnant, he took to stealing.
Pride drove him from the straight and narrow path, and soon he sold his soul to the devil to fill his stomach.
They caught him and punished him, but some of the people he'd robbed didn't think it was enough. Then when his wife died in childbirth, and the child too, he blamed everyone for it. Even God, apparently.
But when the time came to pay his debt to hell, the devil had no use for his soul, and took his wife and child instead. The charcoal burner cursed God, who struck him down in righteous vengeance. But the dead man's soul never left his body. He came back as a revenant to vent his rage at God and men and take vengeance on the living.
Jesus, did you listen to what I said at all?
Sorry, did you say something?
Oh, never mind. What do you want me to do with it?
Well, the question is, what would the revenant do to get revenge on the villagers? Well, apprentice?
He cursed God. That's very serious.
What is it that most brings God to mind?
They don't have a church there. But everyone will have a rosary. I can't think of anything else.
That's it! If folks start losing their rosaries, they'll have sleepless nights over it.
You want me to steal rosaries? But that's...
Or just exchange them.
For what?
For nothing.
Great. He was stealing food from people, right? So, supposing he started again.
We should steal from people? Disgraceful. Have you no shame?
Maybe just a few eggs from hen coops, like the gossip mentioned.
Well, that wouldn't be too serious a sin. Will they put it down to the revenant, though?
They would, if I put some charcoal there instead.
And their nourishment he turned into ash.
The gossip mentioned the butcher. It seems he was infuriated that the charcoal burner's punishment was too lenient.
And the revenant spoiled their meat with his malign touch.
How's that?
Spoiled meat is a classic example of a revenant's power.
I thought it was the work of bad butchers.
That too, sometimes.
So, I should switch the good meat for bad at the butcher's. What about the butcher woman?
What about her?
Her conscience was troubled on account of her man, and she couldn't sleep. But I helped her, so she's found some peace.
So, no problem then.
What? I'm supposed to scare the wits out of her and start all over again?
All right, if you can find some other solution, you don't have to switch the meat. But I wouldn't worry about her. But make sure it's the same kind of meat. Not even a revenant will turn a cow into a chicken.
What about his wife and child? No doubt he'd want to avenge their death.
Well, how did they die?
In childbirth.
And when his love turned to rage, the water turned to blood. Nothing too original, but it's tried and tested. If you do it at the baths, everyone will hear of it.
How am I supposed to do that? It might be a bit suspicious if I'm seen walking around with a pail of blood.
No problem. There's a certain potion that will do the trick easily. So, switch eggs for charcoal, switch the meat, color the water in the baths, and switch the rosaries. That ought to do it. I hope so. Of course, if you come up with anything else, don't let me hold you back. Talking to people might give you ideas. Traders, the bailiff.
Well, what if someone sees me in the act?
They mustn't. Otherwise, it'll end up like Sasau all over again. Don't draw attention to yourself, or they'll put two and two together.
Sure. I'll keep my head down. And how will I know if I've succeeded? I doubt it'll be announced on the market square.
I'll be the first to know. They'll come running to me for a remedy, like hens at feeding time. Off you go and raise hell.
But whatever he did, don't you think he deserves some peace?
Dear Henry, after all the poor wretch went through, I'd say he's beyond any peace.
Well, he certainly won't have any as long as I'm carrying his bones around with me.
Ah, but you know who those remains could help.
Help? Who? How?
Me, of course. And I'd pay you a nice price for a revenant's bones.
But there is no revenant.
Not yet. What do you say?
All right, I'll sell them to you.
Splendid. Revenant bones. Good luck to you.
Hello and welcome back everyone to some Kingdom Come Deliverance. Now let's get back into it. We have to replace all the butcher's meat and a number of other things. It says here replace the chickens. Replace the chickens, it says. Okay, this is not what I was expecting. I'm a little tongue-tied. Don't mind me. Anyway, I was like, oh yeah, you know, you're gonna have to shoot him with a bow. No, definitely not. No. I don't know if it's safe for me to have witnesses, so I'm gonna wait for these guys to clear off. He vanished. He vanished under the building. Okay. Why is he doing his cobbler business outside, man? I'm gonna just save the game right here, just in case things hit the fan. I'm kind of curious now what will happen if I have witnesses. Okay. I got a 2-for-1 special. Let's go. Okay. I guess nobody cares.
Day. Bye.
Excuse me, sir. You were in my way as I was trying to pick up these 2 chickens. So, I'll be taking those chickens. Thank you for your chickens. That's so weird. So weird. Anyway. Okay, we have everything for that. All the way back to Ledechka we go. This isn't a bad DLC quest, it's just, I'm just curious what the ending is gonna be like is all. I like all the side quests and missions and quests and whatnot in this game. They're all pretty spot on for me. I have no complaints. Okay, let's get replaced to me and then we'll talk to him. 'Cause he's still got more stuff to tell us, I believe. Okay, so hang on. Let me scroll over here to food. Okay, so all this stuff is perfectly fine right now, so we cannot take this back right now. I don't know if I own any potions that like spoil things fast or anything, but anyway, no big deal. We'll just talk to the Charlatan.
Good day to you.
About that recipe.
Yes, you want to buy it?
I'll buy the recipe.
What's the recipe for that potion you were talking about?
You mean for coloring the water? Ah, well...
Well?
Pay close attention now.
I'm all ears.
How love turned to bloodshed. Once there was a knight who, though upright and noble-looking, had a prickly, unapproachable appearance. He fell in love with a fragile young maid, whom he saw with her sisters in the field, all wearing bright red wimples. But he was afraid his prickly exterior would frighten her. So he asked the advice of another knight, a pious and learned crusader, who carried the name of the patron saint of his order with pride. The pious knight told him he would arrange a rendezvous with the maid. All three would drink wine together by the river, and he would help his friend to get acquainted with her. This they did, but the maid fell in love instead with the pious knight. The stern knight was enraged and challenged his rival to a duel. The two fought long and fiercely, but they were equally matched, and so In the end, they both fell mortally wounded. Anguished at the tragedy her beauty had caused, the young maid took a dagger from one of the knights and plunged it into her own heart. Their bodies lay together on the ground, and the blood flowed from them into the river, turning the waters crimson.
I thought you were going to tell me the recipe, not some fable.
It is the recipe. I mean, the recipe is concealed in the story.
What on earth for?
So I don't forget it.
All right. So what does it mean?
I can't remember.
Great.
Wow.
Who
Wow.
does?
You'll figure it out, my loyal apprentice. I remember there are 3 plants in the story, but that's about all. But I know it was a simple recipe. It should be enough to grind the ingredients and brew them together for one turn. So, all you have to do is work out what the ingredients are from the story.
Sure. Why make things simple if you can complicate them?
Wow. Well, I don't know why I expected anything different, honestly.
About that
What about this recipe?
Yes, you want to buy it?
I'll do it. I'll do
Yes, I need it right away.
I understand. I'm sure you'll be more than satisfied with it.
But I won't be drinking it, fortunately.
Take care now.
Alright, well, see you later. Bye-bye. Hello and welcome back, everybody, to some Kingdom Come Deliverance. Now, let us check back in with the Charlatan and see how the people in the village are.
So, how am I doing so far?
Good work, Henry. The whole village is shaking in its boots. Soon, people won't step outside the door without saying 3 Hail Marys.
I'm glad to hear it. I'm beginning to feel haunted myself.
The baths are closed. No one will tell you why, but everyone is clearly frightened. No one in Ledechko would eat a single egg, even if they had any, because all the hens are hexed.
Well, at least they've got fuel for their fires.
Half the village is without rosaries. Someone even wanted to buy one from me.
And did you sell it?
I don't trade in such banal goods. But I sold him a cat's paw.
I didn't know a cat's paw was good for warding off revenants.
Henry, all the goods I have are good for warding off revenants. Everyone is talking about how all the butcher's meat went off after being touched by the hand of evil.
What, does this look like the hand of evil to you? So, the job is done, eh?
Not quite.
But you just said the whole village is shaking with fear.
The whole village, but for one individual.
Well, surely that doesn't matter.
That's what I thought too. Only this fellow is giving everyone the benefit of his wisdom. He needs shaking up before he undoes your good work.
But if he's not been scared yet, what more can I do to frighten him?
Well, when he's not hanging around here ruining my trade, he's in the tavern boasting that he'd happily sleep by that empty grave to prove there's no revenant.
Yeah, I bet he would.
Exactly. He just needs a little persuasion. And once he's there, make it the most terrifying night of his life.
Well, what are we waiting for then?
It's best to be well prepared. You ought to find out something about him, so there's no surprises.
The gossip woman?
Naturally. And Henry, before we get to that grave, you can still try and come up with more ways to frighten the villagers. The more terrified they are, the more groschen there'll be in it for me. For us, that is. Take care now.
Yeah, for me, huh? Let me see here. So, we already purchased that potion, right? That we need to get for Hans. I don't know. Let's go over here. What does it say on my map? What? Do I still have to purchase that for me? I thought I already did that, friend.
May the Lord watch over you.
Alright, let's go over here and try and find something out about this guy then.
God preserve you, good night. Can I do something for you?
Good wife.
You're still here, lad? I thought you'd have fled by now.
Fled? Why on earth would I do that?
Because there's a revenant on the prowl. The whole village is talking about it, and everyone is terrified.
Ah, that. But I heard there's one brave lad who's not afraid.
You mean Felix?
Well, I don't know what his name is, but he's always arguing in the tavern that there's no revenant.
That's him. The fool doesn't believe what's going on under his own nose. He hasn't the sense he was born with.
Is he brave or just stupid? Surely he's afraid of something.
I couldn't tell you. But if he's to be believed, he doesn't fear the devil himself.
And do you believe him?
Well, it's true he never seems bothered by anything. But then he's always with that other pair.
What pair?
2 mates of his.
But he was alone in the tavern.
Aye, they're not locals. But outside the village, wherever he goes, they go with him.
He even said he'd spend the night at the graveside, just to prove there's no revenant.
Aye, all talk and no action.
Who are these 2 fellas?
They're not bad lads, but they're no heroes, that's for sure.
How's that?
Them 2 have their fears, but then who doesn't?
What are they afraid of?
The first one wouldn't even go into the woods alone, because he's afraid of wild animals.
Ah, is that so? I wonder why.
He got lost in the forest as a young lad, and he wasn't found till next morning. Shaking and pale as a ghost he was when they found him.
What a crybaby.
Poor lad. Must have been scared out of his wits.
That he was.
What about the other one?
He's afraid of fire.
Why?
His own father burned him, God forgive him. As a young lad, he was playing with fire and nearly set fire to the house. So his pa taught him a lesson he wouldn't forget.
Poor lad. That's a terrible way to teach a child.
My words, exactly.
Ah, it's been an interesting chat. Thanks, good wife.
God bless.
Now what?
Salt sprinkled with the bloody tears of St. James Madonna.
This brave fella, Felix his name is, if we can get him to spend the night at the grave, he won't be alone. Wherever he goes, he always has 2 mates tagging along.
Like he's afraid to be alone.
Could be.
So, if we could get him there alone, it shouldn't be too hard to scare him.
Maybe, maybe not. He claims he's not afraid of anything.
That's easy to say. I'm not so sure. Only, we have to get rid of the other 2. What do you know about them?
One of them is afraid of wild animals. Won't even go into the woods on his own.
I see. And the other one?
Well, he's afraid of fire, but I doubt an ordinary campfire would do the trick.
Well, we'll think of something. Anyway, you take care of the first one.
How, though?
Haven't you learned anything from me? Talk to a dog.
Of course. Why didn't I think of that? Any particular one, Master?
The most frightening one, of course.
And how am I supposed to recognize him? One looks the same as another.
By his bark, naturally. Can't you hear him? He'd scare the wits out of anyone.
That's a dog.
Either that or Satan in the guise of a beast.
All right. And what do I do with him?
Have a conversation with him and see if you can mimic his bark.
Yeah, great idea. People will think I'm barking mad.
Farewell.
What? I know exactly which one he's talking about, too.
Come on, then.
Who are you?
Bark. What a beast you are. All right, let's see. Ruff. Ruff. Again. Boo. 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 Boo.
What is this quest?
Boo. 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 That's still not quite it. Yeah. Boo. 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 That's it. And now I'm officially the village idiot.
Hey, who's that?
Think something's wrong with your dog, friend. What is this side quest, dude?
So, how did you get on?
I found that mutt. Although from the noises it made, you'd hardly guess it was a dog.
So you've learned to bark?
I have, Master.
So bark.
I never thought I'd stoop so low. Boo!
Perfect!
But what if it's not enough?
Ah, ye of little faith. Besides, can you think of any other way?
If we want to have him there on his own, I could always knock the other two out.
And what if he finds them unconscious?
I can always haul them off somewhere he won't find them.
Just make sure you don't botch it, Henry. It could easily turn very sour.
Don't worry. But what about the other fella?
Ah, yes, apprentice. You have the good fortune to witness a genius at work. Watch and learn. An oil lamp.
An oil lamp?
Precisely. Isn't it ingenious?
A marvellous invention, I grant you. But what do you want to do with it?
That's the clever part. I've hung a lamp like this over the Revenant's grave. All you have to do is shoot it down. It'll fall on the grave and burst into flames.
Well, that could work. Only...
Only what?
How can you be sure I'll manage to shoot it down?
I believe in you, Henry. You're my apprentice, versed in the ways of our craft.
Right, I almost forgot.
Anyway, you can practice. The lamp is already hanging up. It just hasn't been lit yet.
Aye, I'll give it a go. And then what?
Then you just have to goad our Felix into putting his money where his mouth is.
But what if he doesn't fall for it?
Refusing would ruin his credibility. Go and see him. I'll bet you anything, if you present it right, he'll jump at it.
All right. I'll give it a try.
Good. Don't delay, though. Practice with the lamp first, if you like, or just go straight to him.
I've heard there's a revenant haunting these parts.
Ah, you don't want to believe those old wives' tales.
Well, it's not true, then.
Of course not. It's just a lot of fairy tales.
You're kind of sure of yourself, aren't you?
That I am. And what's it to you?
Nothing. It's just that, well, bold talk doesn't prove anything.
Are you saying I'm lying?
Well, can you prove your claims?
What?
Well, supposing you spent the night at that grave, like you say. That'd prove there's no revenant, wouldn't it?
You reckon so? I don't know.
Yeah, for sure. Besides, since you're so fearless, it'd be nothing to you, right?
Aye, that's right.
How about something to buck up your courage? Ah, probably not. You don't need it.
I don't, but it can't hurt. Thanks, Em.
So when are you going to do it?
Just as soon as I can in the evening.
Right. And now you can... Shh! Quiet, Henry. You'll give us away.
Sorry. What's that you're wearing?
What do you think it is?
I don't know, some new fashion?
It's my Revenant costume, of course.
My apologies, Master, for not recognising it immediately.
You obviously still have a lot to learn.
So, did they come?
Yes, all three. They're camping at the top of the hill.
Right. I'll have time to get haunting then. Where do I start?
I'll leave that up to you. The main thing is to scare off the two cronies first. I'll take care of fearless Felix.
So I'll scare one off with the lamp?
Yes, just make sure no one sees you shooting.
And the other one with fearsome noises?
That will probably take a few attempts. Ideally, a bit at a time.
Let him work up an appetite for more, so to speak.
I couldn't have put it better myself. Just don't give yourself away.
I won't, but if they do happen to see me coming...
Then you'd better vanish like a wisp of smoke, or make some excuse.
And what will you be doing?
I'll wait somewhere out of the way for a while, and then I'll crash in. So make sure the other two are gone by then.
All right.
Sounds easy enough. Okay. Interesting, very interesting. Oh, I can't walk through this bush, okay.
to be a wolf. Some animal, I suppose. Christ, that noise again. What the... Oh. What were we not... Oh, no, not again. No, please, God, no. I can't stand this. No, no, please, no. They're everywhere. They'll devour me. Jesus Christ, I've got to get away from here.
Here comes the Charlatan. He's coming in hot.
I didn't do anything. Leave me alone.
That's hilarious.
That was something.
How did you like that, eh?
Wonderful. I haven't had so much fun since I dressed up as the Pope.
Did you see him run? Like all the demons of hell were on their heels.
One was quite enough, evidently.
So what now?
Now I just wait for my customers to turn up. Come and see me tomorrow before noon, and you'll get your well-earned reward.
I will absolutely hold you to that, sir. Alright, anyway. Right here. I'm allowed to talk to this man, I believe.
Well, finally, I've had quite a wait.
Why do you want to talk to me, of all people?
You brought me here. You should consider it an honor.
Well, it's true to say I have a lot of questions.
Well, there you are, then. It did cross my mind, though, that it might be nice to get some assurances for my cooperation. After all, I'm the one the Margrave unjustly declared the scourge of the land and expelled from Moravia. They even pulled my beautiful castle down. It was the necessity of making a living that forced me to take some liberties.
Do you really want to question the authority of the Margrave?
I've always been loyal to the crown, but what can I do when the Margrave stole my fief?
That's not why we're here. I don't care about your conflict with the Margrave. It's your crimes against the king I'm worried about. The king you say you've always been so loyal to.
Very well, ask me anything you want. I won't be obstructive.
What I want to know most of all is who's behind it. Who are you making those forgeries for?
Do you think I couldn't have handled it all myself?
I'm not trying to insult you. It's just not a job one man could do alone.
All right, the way it began was I was short of coin, as usual. So I let those crimps in Sasau recruit me.
Recruit you into what?
I didn't inquire too much. In this business, you don't ask too many questions. But when they found out I wasn't just anybody, they put me in charge of the counterfeiting. A foreigner by the name of Eric gave me instructions. But for sure, he isn't the chief. And there's someone highly placed at the monastery who's mixed up in it too. But I don't know who.
This Eric, you reckon he's not the one in charge?
He puts on airs, but he's just a naive young pup. And he's always going on about his lord, though he never mentioned him by name.
Where can I find this Eric? You must have had some meeting place.
He used to come to the workshop unannounced. And after what's happened, I doubt he'll be showing his face there again.
How did you come to hear of all this business?
I met some old friends in Colleen a few months ago. and they said they were heading for Sasau, that armed men were being recruited, and they'll hire anyone.
And then what?
Rapota and I had been living off stale crusts for a month, so I wasn't going to turn down the chance of work, honest or otherwise. We rode to Sasau and met with the recruiters. It didn't take long to realize I was a nobleman fallen on hard times, not some common peasant.
Can you get to the point?
Well, they introduced me to this Eric, and he told me what was needed. They set up the workshop, got the men, the supplies, everything.
Crimps? You're telling me this Eric is recruiting armed men in Sasau?
Well, it seems so. I was giving the recruiters some of the coins to do it. The fake ones, of course.
Where can I find the recruiting gang?
That's tricky. It was my friends who led me to them. We met with them in the woods next to Sasau. It's about who you know, as always.
You said you gave them money. Where was that?
They'd ride to the mine gallery to see me. I don't suppose you'd find them there now.
If you say so. This highly placed person at the monastery, what can you tell me about him?
I've no idea who he is, only that he's no small fry. After all, he handles the exchange of the forgeries in Passau.
I see. Is there anything else at all you can tell me about him?
No, he was supposed to supply me with materials too, but he backed out. Eric said he probably got cold feet.
That'll do me for the moment.
Will you put in a word for me with Sir Radzig? I'll swear allegiance to him if he'll have me. I'm sick of being a renegade.
Why would Sir Radzig want your allegiance? You're a criminal, and that's how you'll be treated.
Yeah, you stay in here. Enjoy it. Enjoy the darkness, you bastard.
At the miraculous items on offer to...
You don't have your hood on today.
My dear apprentice, how happy I am to see you.
So, it all worked out then?
Like a dream. I didn't sell half as much in Sasau.
That's good news. Now, about that thing you promised me.
Your well-deserved reward, certainly. Here you have it. Here's something extra for you. I sold a lot more than I expected, and I think it's all thanks to you.
What will you do now?
I could go now. I've coin enough, but I'll wait a while before moving on.
Why? I thought you didn't want to stay too close to Sasau for long.
But what if you needed my help?
Indeed. How could I forget all you've done for me? Well, at least I'll know where to find you.
Alright then.
Are you ready, Sir Hans?
Henry? Something's gone wrong.
Open up. I'm not going to talk to the door.
That potion tasted rather odd, and now I have a feeling my face is broken out. How do I look?
You're imagining it, sir. You look as irresistible as ever, if not more.
But I feel as if I just fell face first into a nettle patch.
Well, you're just a little flushed from the excitement. It'll pass.
If you're sure. So, what do you think? Can we go to the rendezvous?
Why wait? Carolina won't be able to resist you.
All right then. Lead on, Hart. And you, Henry, follow me.
Does he look bad? I don't know if he looks bad. I don't know how this is gonna go. Come on. We're so close. Where are we going?
Tell me, Henry, how many girls have you had in your life? If you've had any at all, that is.
Well, there's been a few, but I'm sure I can't compare with you.
Ha! Very true. One day plays will be written about my amorous adventures.
Comedies or tragedies?
That might depend on how things go tonight.
Okay. Putting pressure on me?
God, he's back again.
Everybody hates me.
There's another very pretty girl living in this house here, but she's already got a suitor.
Since when has that ever bothered you?
Since the time her fellow threw me headfirst into a dung heap and kicked my ass for good measure.
It seems your future subjects don't hesitate to take a stick to you when it comes to minding a womenfolk.
I doubt he would have done it if he recognised me. I was, incognito.
I've lost everything. My home, my family, my livelihood. Be merciful, good people.
I wouldn't beg, good neighbors, but I'm reduced to this. I'm from Charlatan.
We're almost there. You'll hide behind a gravestone or in the bushes and don't budge from there. Otherwise you might scare her off.
Okay. It's not creepy at all.
Hide, Henry. Time to get started.
How do you know it's her who will come out and not someone else?
She got the letter and necklace, didn't she? She knows that I'm... That is, her secret admirer is coming.
And what am I supposed to do?
What do you think, dolt? Prompt me from that book of poetry. Get a move on. I don't want to turn up late to see the love of my life.
Concealed.
Get a move on. I don't want to turn up late to see the love of my life.
Go back?
I don't want to turn up late to see the love of my life. Get a move on. I don't want to turn up late to see the love of my life. Get a move on.
What?
I don't want to turn up late to see the love of my life.
Am I supposed to be following you still? I don't get it. What's your deal, bro? Oh, I'm supposed to like legit press A on something. Gotcha.
Who's there? I can't see you.
Your most ardent admirer, fair maid.
Uh-huh. And do you have a name?
What's in a name? That which we call a rose by any other name would still be a flower, wouldn't it? Start.
Oh God.
What are you saying? I can't hear you.
To love and be forlorn is like night without a dawn. To be close with naught to say, like winter frost in May.
To love and be forlorn is like night without a dawn. To be close is not the same, like intercourse in May.
No! To have lips and yet kiss not is like leaving grain to rot. To love without consummating is like unsown fields in the spring.
To have lips and yet kiss not is like a leaking chamber pot. To love without constant mating is like nuns all feel in the spring.
Psst. What on earth are you saying?
What's that hissing?
It's a feral goose here in the bushes.
Ah, Lord, let me not wait in vain. I long to see my love again. O gentle sir, be of good cheer. I shall not cling to another dear.
Landlord, let me not wait in vain. I long to sing and laugh again. O gentle sir, get off your chair. I shall not bring you another beer.
Jesus, Henry! What kind of yokel nonsense are you babbling?
Me? You're the one who's babbling.
You're an odd one. I've never heard such peculiar poetry in my life. Where on earth did you come up with it?
It's not my fault. It's really not my fault.
If I don't get my oats, I'll string you up by the ballsack.
How did you like it, dearest?
Well, it was, Father is coming! Hide!
Was that talking? If it's some dandy again, I'll gut with my filleting knife.
I didn't hear anyone.
Did you hear what he said?
But I have a bad feeling about this, Hans. I think we should...
Are you still there?
Still here, my love. How could I have apart from you?
Father's coming! He'll kill you!
He will not. Because it'll never cross his mind where I'll be. Henry, it's time for me to claim my prize. Whatever happens, cover my back.
There you are, you seducer! Now you'll see how a butcher protects his daughter's honor.
Buy me time.
You got some explaining to do, you bastard!
Oh my goodness.
What are you after, you bastard, sneaking around an honest citizen's house in the dark?
I went to mourn over the grave of my great-grandmother.
Oh yeah, then what are you doing right beneath my window, eh?
Now the question is, why are you trampling on great-granny's grave, eh?
Enough of your horse shit. One more word, and I'll have you.
Ah! What are you doing here?
Oh, my darling.
Get out! Get out or I'll call Papa!
My sweet. How can you be so cruel?
Hey, what was that?
What was what?
That noise. I'm sure I heard a strange noise.
We're here in the cemetery. Maybe restless spirits, what do you reckon?
I'd swear it came from the window of my own house.
What's that got to do with me?
Someone's been creeping around after my daughter. I come out and I find you here. Quite a coincidence, eh? So, out with the truth.
You're quite mistaken. I've never laid eyes on your daughter, and if she looks anything like you, I'd rather keep it that way.
Why, you fucking...
What do you think you're doing? Climbing in here, uninvited?
Ma chérie, I came to court you.
Then go and court me from the courtyard.
Don't try to make a fool of me. I heard it clearly. What was that?
Are you alright? It seems to me you're hearing things other folk can't hear. That's not good.
You're saying I'm hearing voices in my head?
Well, that's not necessarily a bad thing. St. Euphrosyne of Polotsk heard voices too, and she founded a monastery and churches and things.
I heard voices too. Well, could have been voices. I wouldn't swear to it though.
Look, fellas, I was standing right here and I didn't hear a thing. Do you take me for a madman?
Whatever you are, I want to know what you're doing under my daughter's window and who was talking to her. I heard it clear as day.
Good neighbour, it can't be denied that old age dulls a man's ears. I'm here alone, praying for the souls of the good people resting in the cemetery. I've nothing to do with your daughter.
That voice sounded different to yours, though. But where did he get to? You must have seen him.
Unless you're covering for him.
What? You don't love me?
No, and I told you, get out!
Well, how about a kiss at least?
Out, out, out!
Oh, God.
Oh, Christ almighty. It's haunted here. I knew I should never have come near this cemetery at night.
The only one doing any haunting here is you. And I'm done wasting time with you. I'll beat you to a pulp, and then that other bastard. You'll get the hiding of your life.
Come on then. Come on then.
Gone weak at the knees, have you?
No fooling around. I'll let Dr. Delay.
Come on then. I like how the guards are just casually walking by as we're all fighting. As I'm literally getting jumped. Okay, fair enough. Something.
You're dead.
Come on then. And stay asleep. Anyway, now that that's over, I'm tired.
Greetings. What business have you?
How did it go with Carolina, Sans?
It was a disaster, Henry. A disaster.
How come? Didn't your recitation do the trick?
What kind of nonsense were you feeding me? Carolina thought I was a thief breaking in to rob the place. I tried to explain, but she wouldn't listen. She told me to get out, or she'd call her father.
Oh, you're lucky I managed to keep him busy. Only now he thinks I'm the village idiot.
Well, thanks for that, at least. Anyway, Carolina slammed the door in my face, so I suppose I'll have to look elsewhere for the love of my life.
Well, back to writing love letters.
To hell with love letters. Imagine. That silly goose couldn't even read.
Ah, shame. She missed out on something very rare.
Indeed. Here's the letter, Henry. Read it. At least you're capable of appreciating my literary talent. Read and learn from a poet. Goodbye.
Let me read this. Let me see what you're talking about, man. I'm a poet. I'm a poet. Let me see this. Let me see this poem you got, man. Is this blasphemous? That bottom part right there seems a little blasphemous, maybe. I don't know. I don't know if this is your poem, bro. I don't know. I mean, it's not like a poem or anything. It's like, it's exactly what it says, a love letter. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace.